Again, here is a question where I was stuck. Actually, here it is given that here it is given in the topic of monotonicity, as you can see. But in exam, if it would have come, then I would have thought it is a function. It is a question of relation functions. So, and I have to find out the range of this function. Right, this question number 12. So I have to find the range of this function, but actually this is not the case. We have to think of whole general, right? So your approach should be that we must think of the graph while finding the such type of question, right? True set of real values of x or range. So if you would thought of graph, then that must come to mind that this function may be increasing or decreasing, right? And then monotonicity will be clicked to your mind. तो इसमें क्या करना है कि we have to just differentiate it, check the monotonicity. So when you will differentiate it, you would get f dash x is equal to ln x. So ln x would be greater than 0 and less than 0 for these values, right? X from 0 to 1 and x from 1 to infinity. So you can see that ln x means f dash x is greater than 0 for sorry, I think I have written a little wrong here. Okay, actually I was the sign were interchanged here. So ln x will be less than 0 from this interval and it would be greater than 0 from this interval. So f dash x, right, f dash x is negative in this interval and it is positive in this interval, which implies that the function f of x would be decreasing from 0 to 1 and it would be increasing from 1 to infinity. Now where does it come that x is equal to 1, right? It's changing its definition, like increasing and decreasing at x is equal to 1. So what I did is that first, see, don't look at here, first on a graph I would mark here x is equal to 1, and then I know that from 1 to infinity ln x is increasing, that is it is greater than 0, that is f dash x is positive, that implies that f of x is increasing. So the graph would be somewhere like this, right? It would be increasing. Now from 0 to 1, right, x belongs from 0 to 1, it was decreasing, right? And if you would find out the value at x is equal to 1 of this function, it would come out to be 0, right? 1 को डाल के देखो यहाँ पे 1 ln 1 0 हो जाएगा, ये -1 + 1 कट के 0 हो जाएगा. So the value would be 0. So at x is equal to 1, the value of f of x would be 0, and since it was decreasing from 0 to 1, so minimum value must be at x is equal to 1 itself. That was the click. Actually it's not pretty tough to think, but these small things matter in exam, right? So from 0 to 1 it's decreasing, so the minimum should be at x is equal to 1. Since at x is equal to 1 the value is 0, so minimum value must be 0. So before x is equal to 1 and after x is equal to 0 means this interval, it must be greater than 0, f of x must be greater than 0. So the graph would be like this. So in this situation we can see from x is equal to 0 say 1, the graph is positive, and from 1 say infinity the graph is also positive. So answer to this question would be this D, right? So pretty important question.